Ajumoke.
All right. Thank you so much, Damola. It is Akingbemila, but it is fine.
Okay, that's why, because I wasn't totally sure if I got the pronunciation.
It is Akingbemila. Thank you so much. Good.
Akingbemi.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. It's good to be here again for this session. So permit me to just share my screen, and please, when it is up, please let me know. Thank you. So can everyone see my screen?
Project management. Yes, we can. Project
Yes, very
management,
clearly.
body of knowledge.
Yes, you can see your screen.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone. So yes, again, welcome to the project management session. And this week, this Saturday, we'll be looking at project communications management. And then the objectives will be introduction to project communications management, why communication matters, key processes in project communications management, considerations for effective communication. We'll also be looking at best practices for project managers. So first, what is project communications management? So first thing is, when you hear communications generally, now let's not even talk about projects. When you hear about communication, what comes to mind? What comes to your mind? Like, what do you understand by communication? Please, can I get a few responses? Just few, then I can explain from my end too.
Okay,
What comes to mind when you hear communication?
to me, communication is a way of passing information across to another party.
Okay. Okay, so that's a great one, but I would say that passing information to another party effectively, right? Effectively, because we can pass.
Also, ma, hello, ma.
Yes, I'm with
Sorry
you.
for the interruption. Also, yeah, communication is not limited to passing information. It also involves sharing ideas and
Yes,
with the expectation of the feedback.
yes, very correct. Very correct. Because communication varies, right? You could just, say something, one person catches it, some do not, it's not effective, right? And so I would just say project communication management is the process, right, of ensuring timely and appropriate planning when you are saying something, passing information in the right way. On our screen, we have this area is all about ensuring that information is effectively generated, shared, and understood. When you're passing an information, when you're sharing ideas, you should be sure that you are saying it to the right people and at the right time. It's not every communication that should be shared to everyone, because some persons do not even need that information at the time that you want to share it, right? So as a new project manager, think of yourself as a communication hub. So I'll say one thing, that when you're starting a project, from the very beginning of that project to the very end of the project, communications happens. It doesn't stop. Communications happens all through the lifespan of a project, and this sits majorly with the project manager, right? So let's look at project communications management overview. So we have them clause 10.1, plan communications management. As explained earlier that in my first class, I said it that inputs, when you see inputs, what comes to mind? Say resources, information that are used to initiate and carry out project activities, and all of these things runs through the project. And we have the tools and techniques. These are specific methods that are used to perform project management processes. Outputs are, outputs are what you end up with at the end of the project. So this comes at the later end of the project. So when you see inputs, when you see tools and techniques, when you see outputs, inputs are documents that are used earlier on the project for each of the communication manage which sorry on each of the management of project management, right, on each of the processes. So for project communications management, we have inputs, we have the project charter, Oh, my slides are not moving.
Yes, ma, your slide is not moving.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Let me share again. Okay. Okay. So can you see my screen now?
Yes, yes, ma.
Is it moving?
Yes, please, it's moving.
Yes,
All right,
yes,
great.
yes, it's moving.
All right, great. Sorry about that. So I was explaining the So I was explaining the input tools and techniques and output. So for project communications management, we have input, and these are documents that are used at the initial stage of the project. You have the project charter, you have your project management plan, you have your project document, enterprise and environmental factors, and all of these things. For your tools and techniques, you have your expert judgments, communication requirements analysis, you have your communication technology. These are methods that should be used when doing communications management on project management. Output, you have your communications management plan. This is where you know plan how communications will go on the project. You have your project management plan. This is initiated from the beginning of the project. You can see that it's in your input. You also need it during your output. For your clause 10.2, where you have managed communication, same thing, input, tools and techniques, and outputs. All of these documents, you'll be seeing them in between each other, and that's because all of the documents you have in project management, they would always intertwine. They will always come up in one of the clauses or not. But there are there are documents that run throughout the life of the project. So you can see them, you can use it during you can use it during communication, you can use it during planning, you can use it during initiation, you can use it at different points, but these documents are relevant all through the project. So with clause 10.3, where you have monitor communications, you can also see clearly the inputs, project management plan, documents. These are document tools and techniques. These are expert judgment, project management, data representation, meetings, outputs, right? So let's move to why communications matters, really. The truth is, like I said earlier, if you're a project manager and then you do not take communications lightly, or you don't take it importantly, that project will never be a success, because you need to communicate, right? 90% of a project manager's job is communication. Very true. Because you need to, you need at every point to communicate right. You need to be sure that you are passing the right message to everyone on the project, both the stakeholders, both the team members. Everyone needs to get the information that you're passing. Please, is my screen moving? I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, so poor communication causes delays and project failures. Good communication builds trust and keeps the team motivated, right? So communication matters so as to give a clear information on a particular project at every time on that project. Can someone let me know if my screen is moving? I want to be
It's
sure.
not
It's
moving,
not
ma.
moving
It's
from
still
my
at
end.
It's not moving. It's just at
It's like
project
five.
It's
management
not moving.
overview.
We're still at the
It's
overview.
like
Oh my God, what is going on?
We're still at the overview.
kindly try to reset again. Let's see how it goes.
Where is it my network? I'm sorry. What's going on? Okay. Not today. No, what's going on? Yep. I honestly don't know why it's not moving from my end.
Maybe you shouldn't just treat it as presentation mode and leave it as display so you can see.
Yes, I also thought about that, but I just want everyone to see clearly. That's why I put it on that mode. But let's see if it will be better that way. Okay. So what about now? What's going on? Okay, Ademola, would you just give me a minute? Everyone, would you just give me a minute to leave the call and then join again?
All right. Or as well, you can send me the material so I can as well share with you.
Let me leave the meeting and join again. I'm sorry, I don't. So Damola, you need to make me a co-host so that I can share. Hello.
I'm with you. My network is just glitching. It's just a minute.
All right. I think this whole network thing. I'm sorry, everyone. So sorry. Net.
Sorry about the delay, but I think it just went through. Kindly share your screen.
Okay, so is it up?
It's still loading here. Okay, now it's up.
Okay.
Manage
Okay.
communication.
So is it moving?
Yes, it is now.
Okay, so I think taking it to slideshow is the issue. So let's leave it at this. But is it clear? Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
All right, thank you guys so
Oh,
much.
yes,
I'm
we
so
can see your
I
sorry.
see your screen.
All right, thank you. Thank you, I appreciate it. Please sorry for that glitch. Yeah, so I was saying, so example, we have example of managed communication. We have kickoff meeting via Zoom. You can use Teams. Some people use WhatsApp. Some people use Slack. We have share PowerPoint summary of goals. We have real-time team question and answer during launch of the project. Okay, so it could be like a meeting between project managers and the team members with stakeholders. It could be a physical, it could be a virtual call, it could be a virtual meeting. And these meetings can be done not just Zoom alone. Different organizations have different tools that they use for this communication. So we have monitor communications. We have the input, which is a project management plan. We have resources under project management plan. We have resource management plan, communications management plan, stakeholders engagement. We also have the project documents where you have the issue log, where you have lessons learned register, project communication. So I'll tell you about issue log. Issue log is usually a document whereby when you have issues on the project, you record everything that is going on, every issues that you're having. And when these issues are finally resolved, you also, record it on this document. You also have lessons learned register, and this register is used, to register every lessons that you learned on each project so that when you're getting a similar project, you do not make that same mistake for that project, right? You'll be able to attend to it the way you treated the former one, and then you won't even dare to make that mistake in your next project, and so on. You also have the work performance data, you have enterprise environmental factors, you have organization process assets, tools and techniques. On monitor communications, you have expert judgment, project management, data analysis, interpersonal and team skills, and you have meetings. For the output, you have documents such as work performance information, change requests. You have project management plan updates. Also have project documents updates. So examples of monitor communications, if people miss tasks, switch from emails to quick daily checks in, ask them for feedback on update frequency. So it depends, depending on the project that you are moving to. It depends on the team members that you're working with. Some team members, you're able to work very well with them on emails and they will respond to you swiftly. While some team members, you need to do like a one-on-one before things can, you know, before you can get results. Like in my company, most times when I know certain people that when they're on my project, I am really okay to say, oh, I can send this person a mail and then they'll give me a feedback very swiftly. They'll answer me. But this person, I'm like, no, I won't send a mail to this person. I need to see this person at the office and talk to the person face to face before I can really get what I want. So you, as a project manager, you need to know all of these things. People do not work on the same speed. People do not receive communications on the same frequency. So you need to understand this as a project manager, and you need to follow through on every project that you are on. So communication methods, we have interactive, we have push, we have pull. For interactive is real-time feedback used for critical or sensitive information. This is ensuring mutual understanding. Let me give you an example of something. This is even outside project, right? Let's imagine I send you a message on WhatsApp. You would sometimes you're wondering that, is this what she's saying or is this what she's trying to say? This chat is not doing it. So rather than chat, you just call the person. And then when you call up the person, you're now understanding that what they even sent to you as a chat is not what you processed in your head. So thankfully, there's call. You are able to call the person to hear from them in real time. You're able to understand better what they meant. So interactive communication happens real time. Feedback is direct, is immediate. You're not waiting for, oh, this, let me send a mail. You can't use emails when you need interactive, when you need to communicate interactively. You need to do it like, is either we fix a meeting, we need to see, or we need to get on a call as soon as possible to clear all of these things. And on project, this is usually used for clarifications, for decision making, for feedback, when I need to get a feedback, when I need to get a project status on every process of the project, when I need my weekly status to send to the client. I cannot do that via mail. I need to talk to the person I'm expecting it from, the team lead. I need to speak with you directly so that you can give it to me immediately. Of course, there are some, communication that doesn't necessarily you need it ASAP. No, it doesn't. Some communications might just be okay. We'll come to that, but then interactive communication is wanting something in real time, and you can do all of these things via WhatsApp. You can do it in person, or you can do it with virtual meetings, seeing the person face to face, right? We also have push. Push is where you can use emails, you can use memos, you can use newsletter. This information is sent, or yes, it's sent to team members or recipients without confirming if they received it or not. So when you want to, like my organization, when we want to start a project, as a project manager, you have team leads, you have other consultants like team members on that project. So I create a WhatsApp group where we do in-house communication. So I'm just saying that, okay, so I expect that you guys go to the shared drive to monitor this. I'm not expecting an immediate feedback from my team members at that time, but some persons will just do like a thumbs up to show that, oh, we got your message. It's not something that I need response to immediately. I just need you to react to it that you've gotten my message. So you can actually just do those ones via emails, you can send newsletters, you can do memos, but it depends on the project again. So from my end, most times I'll drop a WhatsApp message on the group. If I need to just pass an information to one person, I could just drop it to the person's DM. I don't need an immediate response, but I just want you to know. Whenever you see it is fine, but I want you to, get that information. That's for push communication. And you can't use this, doesn't even pass for a critical information. You can't use it when you need a very fast response to something, right? You just use this as a very maybe random information that you need to pass to everyone on the group. And then we have pull. Pull is where information is stored in a central location, and then stakeholders or team members can retrieve it anytime. Examples of this, we have shared drives, intranet dashboards instead of an ERP done by your organization, or something that was outsourced, like an app that was outsourced to someone to do for an organization. So you can do pull communication on that. You cannot, again, this is not something that you use for an immediate response. This is something that maybe your client has shared certain documents with you, and you know that your team members will be needing these documents moving forward on the project. You can just put them in a repository where they can always go in there, give them access to the drive. So I'm using my organization as an example. When I get information from clients that I know that the team members will need, I'll just put it in our shared point drive where they can all go there. I've given them access to that drive. They all go there and they, pull out informations that they need to create their documents, or they need to communicate um with their clients or somebody they're talking to regarding that project, right? So all of these methods is depending on the kind of project that you're getting onto. So this information is also used for like a wider audience. When you have a whole lot of stakeholders or a lot of project team, you don't want to start dishing information in bits to everyone. Instead, you just put it somewhere and then give them access to whatever place you are putting this, so that they can spoon it out themselves. So considerations for effective communication: cultural language differences. Again, when you're passing information, you need to make it simple and in clear language. You need to understand the language that these persons speak. You need to understand how they how they handle communications. So you need to speak a very clear language that you know that they understand, that you know that it's easy for them to catch. You also have technology access, ensure tools like Zoom, Slack, Drive. These are available and accessible to team. Urgency of message, you have critical information might need a call or face-to-face update rather than email. So I would say always that when you need an information urgently, you just put a call through to the person, put a call through, or you, even after putting a call through, they are not picking, go on the call, try to tag them so that it can pop up that their attention is needed, right? Also, we have best practices for project managers. Know your audience. You have to tailor your need to tailor your messages to different stakeholders. So this stakeholder is saying that, oh, I didn't understand your message. Another person say, oh, I understood that message clearly. You do not blame them. Different people with the way they accept information. So you need to be clear on how you transfer information. You also need to be proactive. Don't wait for people to ask for updates. As a project manager, you need to be very, like, you need to dish out information at every point. When your team members are saying, oh, this is what these are the challenges that I'm facing, you need to escalate it to who is supposed to hear. If it's something that you cannot handle, if your clients are saying that, oh, this person is acting this way on a project that's from your team, you need to address it as fast as possible. It's not something that you really want to just feel like, oh, you can allow it slide. No, you pass communication at every point. On the updates, when you give your weekly reports, you do not leave anything out. State it clearly what happened that week, the challenges that was faced, the issues that were faced. If the challenges were something that you resolved, how did you resolve it? You need to be very clear on these informations, and you need to share it with everyone that is on the project. You cannot, you don't want to isolate information to yourself as a project manager. No, you should let everybody on that project know what's going on. Use visuals, charts, and dashboard help simplify info. Okay, so there are some things, maybe when you want to do like a kickoff, when you want to start a project, you just don't create a PowerPoint that is blank. You try as much as you can to put visuals, you try to put pictures, you try to put something that is catchy for your client or for your audience to be able to understand you better on that project. Document everything. I say this in every class that I take, that you need to document everything as a project manager. That's why when you look at project documents, you see that there are loads of project documents in project management. Sometimes you're even wondering that, why is there an issue log? We have planned communication this, we have this and that. That's because at every point in time, you need to document, and there are documents for all of these things in project management. You need to document everything that goes on the project. You don't want to just say, oh, I told this person. If you are telling somebody that I need you to send me your organogram, or I need you to do this, as a project manager, I would advise that you have like an evidence. You have somewhere that you can refer back to, that, oh, this was the mail I sent to you. Oh, this was a WhatsApp message I sent to you. Oh, I dropped a message for you on Slack requesting for this. Because sometimes you see people tell you that, oh, I didn't get that email. But if you're able to add some persons from that organization, you're able to add people from your team to that email, then they'll be able to say, oh, yes, I got the mail also. So you're not just saying it in passing. In my organization, they even recommend that you don't even do WhatsApp. No, you do emails, and you put in copy people that are relevant to that information, so that you are able to explain when this person is saying, no, I didn't get your mail. You're able to give them the time and the exact date that this message was sent out to them. That's a very good thing to know as a project manager. You could be a great person at managing project, but if you don't communicate rightly, if you don't keep records of certain things, you just put yourself in trouble at the end of everything, because this also involves money. Project management involves money. You don't want to just say things on the air and leave it as that. You need to document everything that goes on, decisions, updates, when changes are made. You just don't say it by mouth. There's a change document, there's a change report document that you need to document the change. Who made the change? How did we come about that change? What did we change it to? All of these things needs to be documented, right? So what are our final thoughts? I would just say that, as a project manager, you need to communicate rightly. Don't put everything at I'll just leave it at that. They understand. No, keep asking your team members, is this clear? If you don't understand, I can go back again. I can call you to explain better. If that is not fine by you, can we meet up? Can we get on a call with other people so that they can explain better to you? Is this very clear? This is something that you should keep asking. Don't just put it that oh, I've said what I want to say, and then they understand. Out of 5 persons on the team, 1 person can understand you clearly, or 2 persons can understand you clearly, and 3 persons do not even get what you are saying, and that doesn't even make any sense on the project. Because the truth is, for everything that goes wrong on a project, guess what? It's the project manager. You might not be the technical person on that project. You might not even be the one handling most of these things. But when something goes wrong, trust me, it comes back to you. And you're wondering that, oh, how did we get here? What went wrong? This and that. But because even you're not following, you're not getting what is going on project, you're slacking behind. So you're not even able to defend yourself properly as a project manager. But when you communicate right, when you hold your team members hand in hand, you're able to explain to them that, okay, this move that we want to make, are you sure is right? Let's get another person on the call to explain to us better. Okay, so we're making this certain change. Let's document it. And all of this documentation sits with the project manager. I know some you need, like, again, depends on the project that you're doing. IT project management, you have like a team lead that, sometimes you're asking the team lead that, I need you to do this certain thing for me. But you will not want your team lead to send you a report and then you send it directly to stakeholders. No. As project manager, you will go through it, correct some things, explain why this cannot be this, and you will then go back to that team lead to ensure to tell him that these are the corrections I made. I hope it's fine by you, because they are the technical people. They are the one doing this project. You need to also allow them in on the project. Then you can also, when both of you have concluded, you can communicate this with team members on the project, and then you would then distribute to stakeholders. Again, I would say communication is a core part of a project. Without communication, you cannot do project management. It will not work. It also connects all aspects, right? From planning to execution, communication happens. Even some projects, you see some project that they will tell you that after the project has been done, after the due date, there's usually support, right? Even these support phases, communication still continues, right? Communication still occurs during support for particular projects. So poor communication is one of the top reasons why project fails, right? If communication is not well spelled out, if it's misunderstood from the beginning of the project, there's already a fault somewhere. You need to realign yourself and get back on that project. It could mislead team members on the project or even confuse them. And it gets your team members, they're tired. And once you get team members tired on a project, that project cannot work, because they are the one doing the work. Once they are not getting the right communication from you, this one is saying, what did she say? I don't understand her. Another person is saying, exactly. What was the exact thing? And sometimes team members, because they are confused, they won't even come back to meet you. They'll just be, what did she say? I don't understand. Although some persons will still message you and say, oh, what is that thing you meant on the group? They'll message you privately. But if one person is already doing that, I would just suggest that as a project manager, you get on a call to explain all of these things to everybody, and you keep asking them, is it clear? Do you understand? Do you want me to go again? So these are things that project management is about. So for communications management, you have consistency plus clarity plus relevance. This gives you, effective communication, right? Being a clear and consistent communicator can make or break your project success. Very correct. If you communicate very well, if you are good at passing great information, that is the one step of getting to would I say one step or multiple steps of getting a great result already, right? So that's one strength that I have when it comes to project management. I can communicate a lot, like a lot. You hear my clients even saying that, you're documenting this again because you're telling me something, and I'm like, oh, just hold on. Let me get my pen and my barrel. Let me get my pen and my book, or let me just quickly, sketch something else because you're telling me this. I'm the only one on the call. As a project manager, I need to pass information to every other person on my team. So I cannot just afford to listen all like that. And then after that call, I cannot even remember one thing that you said. How do I go back to explain myself? Or how do I even come back to you to say, can you repeat everything that was said? No, it doesn't make sense. So when you're on a project, you should be always like, you're always alert. You can get calls at any time. So you're jotting things down. You're explaining that, oh, this is what the client wants. Is this something we can do? Is this something we can change? So at every point in time, you are ready to receive information and also pass information. As a project manager, you should also have good listening ears, right? It's not just about you passing information. You should also be able to listen and understand what you want to communicate. And sometimes what you need to say to your team lead is not what your other team members need to hear. Sometimes you're just trying to tell him that, oh, you did this mistake. It's not something you want to call him out in front of every other team members. Also, you don't want to scold team members in public when something is not wrong, or you go back to check documents. So I'll continue to use my organization. So in my organization, when I also stand in as somebody that does quality assurance. So when documents are done, you go back. We have like a shared drive where documents are put first before we share it to our clients. So first thing I do is I'll go to that shared drive, check everything that was done, correct errors, make sure things are done. So you don't, when you get an error, you don't want to go back to that person that made that error in public, or you want to call them out on the group. No, it makes no sense. It doesn't give you a great doesn't make you a great project manager. What was that for, really? So you call the person privately, you explain to the person that, okay, so you made this error. I don't think I want to, I don't want to see this anymore. You need to be careful. You need to be more, you know, you need to be more proactive when it comes to these things. You need to be very clear. We don't want to send such documents to our clients, right? And trust me, once you do corrections in that manner, they will not repeat same mistake. But once you call them out, they'll be like, okay, the best she will do is call me out again. Everybody knows I make mistakes, so it's fine, right? So I'll just stop from there. And thank you, everyone. I hope that was clear enough and we understand what communications management is about. Thank you so much. I'm here to answer questions and I'll give answers to it. Thank you.
Yeah, hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you so much for that information that you passed. It
Yes.
was short and simple. Well, there were some things I actually skipped. So when you were running us through the overview, I couldn't get some things. We were talking about, is it the issue log and all that? So I think you were a bit fast there, so we couldn't get
Yeah.
enough information there.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. No, the first one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So where exactly do you want me to run through? So I said earlier that all of these clauses 10.1, 10.2, 10.3 that you can see, when you see inputs in any of these things, inputs is basically resources, information that are used to initiate and carry out project activities. When you see tools and techniques are specific methods that are used to perform project management processes effectively. And when you see outputs are documents that you use at the tail end of the project. They are tangible or intangible deliverables produced as a result of those activities on the project. So first, that's why you're saying input first. Input, then tools and techniques comes after, then you see output, because output is like the last thing at the end of the project. And I said also that the documents you see on documents you see in inputs, you can also see them in outputs. That's because you can use all of these documents at every point because they
Okay.
have different categories of information they are putting in them. Do you understand? So when you say
Yeah.
you have issues at the beginning of a project, you're definitely there's every possibility that you're still going to have that issue, another issue entirely.
Yes. Hello, are you still there?
At the tail end of the project. So what are
Okay.
you still spooling out? You're still
Sorry,
spooling
sorry,
out your
sorry, Olajumoke. I think your network just glitched a bit. You were cut off for a few moments. Can you retake what you were talking
Okay,
about?
so I said that when you have issue, sometimes you see issue.
Hello, are you with us? Sorry for the network glitch. I think our network is having quite a little bit of turbulence. So just be
I
patient while
yes,
she
yes.
comes back. So while she's reconnecting, I'm sending the feedback link once more to the comments box or chat box. You can do well to please fill this form so we would know how you feel about the classes, if you have been able to learn anything, and how the lecturers can make the classes better for you. And please do well to fill the form. It has been sent to the chat box. I think she's back.
Yes, I'm here. I don't know what
All right,
is
all right,
wrong, but I can hear you.
all right. You can proceed.
Ademola, can you still hear me?
Adidamola, yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I don't know. The person that asked the question, did he get it? Was
No,
I
we
able to
didn't,
answer that
we didn't,
question?
we didn't, we didn't hear the reply, but the person that asked the question is Convenant, and I'm sure he's still waiting for the reply. So please kindly go over it again. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
so I was explaining to him that you will see certain documents in input and you also see it in output. These documents would reoccur like that because let's give an example of issue log. When you have an issue at the beginning of the project, you document it. At the end of the project, it's very possible that before that project ends, you have another issue. The same
Okay.
document that we used is still the issue log, right? So you brought
Okay.
it out at the beginning of the project. You're also bringing it out at the output level to still document the issue that was faced. And even when that issue is resolved, you also document it. So this is the reason why you see same documents in input and output. So Convener, do you get that?
Yes, I got that.
Okay.
I
Something else
actually
you want me
want
to explain?
the enterprise environmental factors. Could you please run us through that?
Okay, so these enterprise environmental factors are, let me give you an example of when somebody is building a house. So when you are building a house, right, when you are planning, you have to consider the environment. In Lagos, you hear people, I'm sure you've heard people say Omonile. You've heard people talk
Yes.
about police trying to say something about that land. These are people that you put in considerations. You don't want to get on that project and have issues. You might feel
Okay.
like they are just normal, are they the owner of the land? But they are important people to a successful project, trust me. So you need to look at your environment factors. You need to see water, is this environment this? So you need to walk along that environment factors. You need to consider environmental factors when getting on a project, right? Because I'm project management, I might not really give serious in-depth on relate to people that do, site and project management and all that. But of course, even on IT project management, you face some environmental factors, right? There are some people, okay, when you are going to a client site to do something, all of those people that you meet at their office just so that you can speak to this person, do you understand? Those are environmental factors in project management. Is that clear?
Yes, that's clear. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Any other questions, please?
Please, ma, I have a question. Yes, ma, I have a question. Can I go ahead?
Yes, please, you can go ahead.
Thank you very much for that wonderful session, ma. My question borders on project management communication. I want to find out, ma, is it
Yes, please.
possible to keep everybody involved in a project satisfied as regards project management communication? Is it possible, or is it necessary that we keep everyone concerned as regards a project? When it comes to project management, is it possible to keep them satisfied? Thank you.
Okay, all right. Thank you for that question. So, like, I don't know if you heard me say at some point that it's not every information that everyone on the project needs to hear. Sometimes this information could just be the stakeholders that need that information. Sometimes it could just be the team members. Sometimes it could just be the team lead on that project. It's just like you building a house and you want to tell, you got an information that, oh, blocks are expensive, they've increased blocks. It's not every artisan on that project that needs that information. And if you are trying to say that will there be conflict, definitely there will be conflict. But that's why you're a project manager. You need to come to a conclusion to resolve it. You need to now say, okay, this is what I was trying to say. And conflict most times even occurs when communications are not clear. But trust me, if you guys see yourself in person, you'll be able to understand yourselves. So to answer your questions, it's not every communication that needs to go to everybody on the project, right?
Yeah, thank you so much. I now understand. It was the network, my network that was actually formed, and that's why I didn't get that part.
All
Thank
right,
you.
you're welcome. Thank you too. Any other questions, please?
Hello, can
I'm
anyone
with
hear
you.
me?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, I think there's no one asking any. You can unmute your mic to speak to ask your question, or you can as well send a message in the chat box. And Gabriel, your message has been noted. All right. Since there is no reply, I would take that as everybody really understood the message she passed, and the information is crystal clear. So before we say our goodbyes, I want us to appreciate our trainer for today, Miss Olajumoke. Kindly give her a round of applause in the chat, or you can appreciate her by unmuting your mic to speak.
Thank you so much, Mr. Olajimake, for that impactful session. We really appreciate your lecture, and I personally I enjoy your lecture. It was so impactful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Steven. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Steven. Before we round up the class today, for those who have not filled their attendance and feedback forms, kindly do that. And moving forward, like I said in the beginning, moving forward, the class is going to be available for only the paid members. So do well to pay your registration fee before Monday or by Monday at worst, latest. So basically, the YouTube link for the recorded class is going to be available on the Telegram group. And also